So let's speak now to consumer journalist Wendy Knowler for some good advice if you're sitting with a ticket you're not sure is going to get you in the air or not. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us. So you can confirm, Wendy, that everyone is getting a refund. But what does everyone mean? Are we talking about people who are due to fly like tomorrow? Or if you want a refund for a flight, say, booked in 3 weeks because you don't want to be inconvenienced, can you get it?
You can certainly apply. The issue, Sal, is around timing. So people are not sure, well, nobody knows when the flights are going to take to the air again, when the planes are going to take to the air again. So I would imagine those booked in the next few days. I've heard of a wedding party getting married in Mauritius with a whole lot of booked flights, and they're now scrambling. So in their case, they're going to have to make alternative flight arrangements on other flights at huge expense if they can get the flights in the first place. But in terms of, if you're flying in a month's time or 2 months' time, do you sit tight? Because some people have bought these tickets on the sale, remember, at 30% off. Now to replace those is going to be very expensive. But if you apply for a refund, as you're entitled to, whether it was a BA or a Kalula booking, it doesn't mean you're going to get it straight away, which is when you need the money to make an alternative booking, right? So they're saying up to 10 weeks, which was the case when the airline planes were grounded 6 weeks ago, more or less. No, 2.5 months ago, rather, mid-March. Some people still haven't been refunded from that. A lot of people have, but it was an up to 10 weeks process. So that's the problem. It's not that you're not going to get your money back, you're not going to get it back when you need it.
And Wendy, we're talking about a significant chunk of the domestic flight market. I mean, between British Airways and Kalula, I don't know what percentage of local...
40%.
40%. So that is a significant chunk that is now grounded. Does that automatically mean that when you try and book on another airline, it's going to be a lot higher because those flights are in demand, and that's how flights work?
Exactly. It caused a lot of anger among consumers 2.5 months ago. The last time 40% of the domestic air tickets were taken out of the market because, this is all automated. The last flights to sell, the last seats rather to sell on any flight are the most expensive. And so when you suddenly hit with this massive spike in demand, that's what happens. And you can argue, well, the other competing airlines shouldn't profit out of this. They should cut their prices accordingly. Well, they're all running a business. So there's that. Also, I don't think there is enough, I spoke to somebody in the industry earlier today, there's not enough capacity to actually pick up all the slack. The airlines are running lean and mean. They don't have a spare aircraft lying around, and then there's the crew as well. So there might be the odd flight added here and there, but mostly people are going to be scrambling for seats on existing schedules, and that is going to present a problem for many, I suspect.
Wendy, let's talk about the trust issue, because a lot of people are really cross that there was this winter warmer sale. Was it yesterday or the day before?
No, it was yesterday. That's the really unfortunate part.
It's astonishing. So they get like 30% off, and they're all chuffed with their tickets, and a matter of hours later, they hear, oh, that whole airline is grounded, and then Kalula or Comair is saying, oh, we didn't know that we were going to run out of money. Is that a plausible excuse?
Look, it's hard to prove what they knew or didn't know, but it does seem the timing is particularly unfortunate, and it's also particularly prejudicial to those who... I've heard from several who said we only bought the Kalula ticket because of the 30% off. Otherwise, we would have booked with another airline that didn't have a kind of question mark over it. So now they've got this budget ticket, and the curtain doesn't fall in terms of suspending the flights. It doesn't fall during the morning of the sale or lunchtime or afternoon. 10 o'clock at night, everything is suspended. So. I did ask Comair how many tickets were sold yesterday. They didn't answer. They did say, though, that the money is safe. It's actually held by the acquiring bank, it was Comair's bank, until the flights actually take off. So all that money is safe. And for refunds, I was told, which is some comfort. But as I said earlier, people need the money now, not in 6, 7, 8, 10 weeks. So many have had to fork out another few thousand rand for much more expensive tickets. They got the 30% off, and of course there were others who bought before the sale. But it's the timing is the thing that's I think really got people. It's caused a lot of conspiracy theories. It's understandably, and it's really ruptured the trust even more because of the timing of it. To pull the plug at the end of the don't get left out in the cold 30% off sale, it's going to take a lot to recover from the damage of that one.
So, as you say, Wendy, they're being assured everyone will get a refund, but you're saying that it could take quite some time. And the trust issue, now we've had this incident with the sale and then grounding the flights. Of course, in March, this was not their decision, of course, but there were compliance issues, again, that caused problems. And I think for most passengers, they don't want to have a situation where their exciting moment, getting on a flight, perhaps going on a little holiday, is destroyed by an airline being grounded. Comair says it's temporary. We don't actually know. So what's your best advice to people who want to book a ticket and want to actually get on the flight? I mean, are there any guarantees at this point? We've seen Mango also in terrible dire straits.
Yeah, there are no guarantees, unfortunately. I mean, then you could get another wave of COVID, which takes everything out of the airlines and our hands, and you can't get to fly anyway. It's a there's no certainty. One thing I do want to say about refunds is that there is chargeback, which is a protection offered by banks was offered by actually the MasterCards and Visas, the credit card companies, through the banks. You can only apply once the service hasn't been delivered to you. So once your departure date is passed, you can apply for that through your bank, and it could be a quicker process. So your bank speaks to the merchant's bank, in this case Comair, and gets your money back that way. You can't double dip and apply for a refund with Comair and apply to your bank for chargeback. But chargeback, if your flight is already taken off, I would suggest that. And the luckiest people are those that booked Discovery Vitality members. Many of them choose Kalula because they get discounted tickets. If you happen to have bought tickets for flights from today until the 7th of June, and you're also a Discovery Bank client, then you will automatically be refunded your full purchase price into your bank account. But I suspect that's a very small slice of those who've been affected.